Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Well, let's make something super cute and super awesome. Y'all stay tuned. All right, so we made this beautiful bag to hold our skinny babies, and they are just so adorable. We made these wonderful boxes to hold our skinny daddies, and the packaging on this couldn't be any more perfect. It is perfect for this particular skinny notebook. And today, I mean, we cannot forget the glue that holds it all together. We have this wonderful bag for our mama pad, and it is just perfect. I'm going to pull the pads out so you can see these pads and how gorgeous they look next to this bag. And this bag is designed to hold 2 of the Dollar Tree writing tablets that contain 100 sheets. And the dimensions of this bag are 9 by 1.5 by 6, and so easy to make and just so gorgeous. And I added some of the lace and just kind of blinged it out a little bit, but not too much. So I'm going to put these back in, and we are going to make this wonderful, wonderful bag. All right, so to make our bag, we're going to need to start with 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper, and we will have to put those 2 pieces together. But first, we're going to go ahead and do our scores. The first score that we want to make is at 1.5. And then we're going to come down and we'll make a score at 7.5. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to score again at 1.5. And then we'll rotate it to the opposite end where we made that 1.5 score just a moment ago. And we're going to score again at 1.5. We'll take our other sheet and do the exact same thing. So when you have got both of your pieces scored, you're going to have a wide panel here, a wider panel here, and then a narrow panel here. So let's go ahead and do our folding and burnishing on both pieces. All right, guys, so once we have both pieces burnished, we are going to remove some paper. So on this one, we're going to remove these 2 end pieces all together. So I'm going to come in with my finger blade and just take this off. And I'll do the same thing here. And then we're also going to remove these long panels here, just from this sheet though. So I am going to come in with my blade, come down, and remove these. And we're going to be left with this. So now I'll set this one to the side, and I'm going to bring the other one in. So what we're going to do here, we're going to cut down, but we're not going to remove these. So starting here at this score mark, we are going to bring our blade in and just cut all the way down, and we'll have this long piece like this. And we'll do the same thing over here. All right, so then we'll turn it, and we've got these pieces cut in this direction. So now we need to cut our bottom tab, but we're not going to cut down. we're going to cut out to the side. So you'll see what I mean in just a minute. So I'll come over to my tab. I'm going to cut this way, and then I'll notch out just a little bit, and you can see that where I cut the top coming down, I'm cutting the bottom tab going out. And now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm going to take this piece, and we're actually going to fold this whole piece down because this is a non-chipboard project. So by folding this down, this gives us a very sturdy base with which to work. So for both of these, what I'll be doing, both sheets of paper will have those flaps folded. So what I'll be doing is I will place tape down on the flap, and I'm not going to place glue. And the reason why I'm not placing glue is that would be a lot of surface to cover with glue, and for this it's just more economical to actually place a few strips of tape down. And if you have a tape runner, you can actually use that too. So all I'm doing is placing tape. So then I'm going to take my tape up, and then once my tape is up, I'm going to bend these out of the way so they won't get stuck with my tape. And I'll just lift this up, bring it in, and fold it down. And I'll come back over it with my bone folder. And now I can bring these back up. So I'm going to set this one to the side, and I'll go ahead and do the same thing with this one. So now that I have both of my top flaps folded over, here's how we're going to put this together. We are going to take this bottom flap here and match it up here. So before I do that, I am actually going to notch in just a little bit on these tabs because it'll make it easier to put everything together. So now I'll take this piece, this flap here, and I am going to place my glue, and then I'll get it stuck to the other piece of paper. So I'll bring this over, and the easiest way for me to do it is just to lay it down, try to get my ends matched up, and then I just start sliding it back until the ends are actually butting up against each other and there is no overhang. So then I can come back and smooth this out. So the way that this works is the end where we have these flaps, this is the last part that we'll fold over. So we're going to bring this up. We're going to add glue. We'll bring this piece up, and we're simply going to get this stuck down. So I'll bring this, and I am basically just sticking it down just like that to where I've got my crisp corner. I'll come back in, I'm going to stand this up, and I'm going to come in with my bone folder and just smooth that out. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I am going to take my glue, and I will bring this in just like this, and I'm going to get this matched up, making sure everything is nice and tight. Again, I will bring it on its side, and I'll come back with my bone folder and get it stuck down. And now I can close my bag just like this. So what I'll be doing here is I am going to take glue. You can use tape if you want. When I'm making a bag, I like to use glue, and I am just going to run my glue, and we need to put glue on this whole piece. I'm going to get this glued up very well because I want to make sure that it holds. So then I can take this, lay it on its side, bring this in just like this, fold it in, and once I've got that folded in, Then I can come back and go on the inside with my bone folder and get everything nice and stuck. And you guys can see the bag starting to take shape. So I'll do the same thing on this end. I am going to come back with my glue. And I will glue this entire piece. I'm going to make sure I get the ends of my tabs glued very well because I want them to cover everything. And then I will bring this up on its side just like that. Take that top flap, fold it in, and then I'll come back with my bone folder, go on the inside, and get everything nice and stuck. And there, guys, we have got a bag. And of course we want to put some handles on it, so I've already made one, and this will be the handle for this bag, and I'll make the other one with you guys. So I'm starting with the piece that measures 2 by 12, and I am going to score it at 5/8 and then 1 1/4. And then I'll simply fold and burnish my scores. And then I'll place my glue on one of the pieces, and I'm just going to fold it over and get it stuck down. And then I'll take my glue, do the other side, and get that stuck down. And then I'm going to take this and just run it across my desk so that I can get the glue stuck, but I can also get my handle to round just a little. So I'll set that one to the side so it can kind of dry. And then I'm going to come back with my bag and just decide where I want my handle to be. So I think in the middle works for me. So I'm going to take my glue, put glue on both ends. And you should never tape your handles on. You really need to use glue or secure them with brads, but tape just isn't a good idea for a bag. And then I'm just going to, I'm feeding it on the inside, and it's hard for you guys to see this part. But once I get my handles where I want them, I'm going to come back with my bone folder and just work that glue in. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and just put my last one down. So I'm just going to add my glue to the ends. And we'll get this one stuck down. Okay guys, our handles are on, and I want to make sure that I reinforce the bottom here. So I have a strip that measures 9 by 1 1/2, and I am going to place some glue on this. And I'm just going to stick it down on the inside. Since my bag will carry a little bit of weight, I want to make sure that it's not going to bulge out at the bottom. So I'll just drop that in just like that. I'll come back, press it down, get it stuck. And there, we have got a bag that will carry the weight of the items that we would put in it. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and decorate the outside of this, and I am going to do that using my lace. Then I'm going to bring in a little bit of rustic with my twine bow. And I'm going to show you guys just how I'm going to make this bow. So I'm going to set this to the side. So the way that I'll make the bow is I will have this tail in my hand, and I will wrap the twine around 4 of my fingers, and I'll wrap it around as many times as I think looks good. And then when we get to this point, I've got a second tail that was created. So I'm going to let that dangle for just a moment, pull the bow off of my hand, and pinch it in the middle to where I get a bow shape, just like this. And then I'll take the twine that I created that final tail with, and I'm going to wrap that around 2 times. And then I'll bring the tail through that second loop that I did, and then I'll just pull it. And this gives me a nice rustic bow. But you want to make sure you don't pull it too tight, because if you start pulling too tight, then you'll pull your loops in. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take this and I'm going to put it right here, but I want to tie it in just a little knot so that they aren't too close together, just like that. And I'll take my glue, put a little dot right there. Then I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to put the glue on the bow, and I'll take the bow and I'm going to place it down right there. And already you can see just how cute it is when you have the rustic meets the elegance. Okay, so then I'm going to add this gorgeous, gorgeous little paper flower. But before I do, on this one, I'm actually going to just darken up the flower a little bit using my gold stamp pad. I just want to give it a little bit of age to it. So I'm going to place that right there, and yes, I think that works. So I'm going to drop my glue on the back of this, and I'll get this stuck down on this right here. Hold it in place until it dries. And now that it's dry, I have this wonderful little sentiment that I'm going to stick right in here, just like that. And I'll do that with a little bit of my glue. And I'm going to take this and tuck it right in here, just like that. And isn't that cute? So I'll cut off a little bit of this because I really don't want too much, but I like the way that that just curled. And there we have it. We have got a gorgeous, gorgeous bag that is perfect for the notepads that we made. So I'm going to take them out of the other bag, put them down inside of this one so you can see, that they fit, but then how gorgeous is this? And I'll bring in my other bag so you can also see just how beautiful the two of these are together. And I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. Presentation is everything. It all starts with quality crafting, but we need to finish that quality crafting off with wonderful, wonderful presentation. And that is what we've done with this packaging of this, the tall skinny and the baby skinnies. The packaging speaks to the quality crafting. The packaging says, if the packaging looks this good, then what's inside has to be equally as good. So I hope that you guys have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys have a great day. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.